Patreon, a website that lets content creators be supported by their fans, who in return receive a perk for their donation, if you will, their pledge. For example, if a comic book creator was on Patreon, they might have a dollar tier to go ahead and let that pledge receive exclusive comics on Patreon. Most YouTube and Twitch gamers who have a Patreon tend to set up tiers that let their pledges decide what games they're playing. A choice of a marathon style, say indie games, maybe sports games, and what character maybe you play. Are they even set up activities at certain tiers to play with fans, for example? Well, in early 2015, good old Philip Burnell started his own Patreon account, and this is its story. When it began, it looked like this, full of his ego and his fat face. At its highest, his Patreon was at $15.74. So $1,574 a month from 157 patrons. It's about a $10 per person average. And that was on September in 2015. Just after he took a slight dip when he failed to reboot Project 7 after reaching the goal on Patreon of $1,250. But the goal, even though met, was never fulfilled. For example, there were Patreons who came in, donated $30 a month to receive a old 2012 Project 7 shirt that the Pig Roach stole away from John and Howard before his move into Washington. Most likely, those pledges did not receive that t-shirt. Oh, and look, right here, one poor fool decided to pledge $75 a month to be in Project 7. But then he got told this. Looks like Project 7 might not happen after all. Sorry, thanks for the money, dummy. The influx of cash came in for pledges to get playthroughs of certain games. Persona 4, Super Mario Sunshine, games in indie game marathons, games in other marathons. All of these pledge goals that were met, good old Phil didn't fulfill them as promised, pushing certain games like Super Mario Sunshine back for months, about 5 months to be exact, from late summer all the way into the following year in 2018. But as you can see on the chart here, there has been a steady decline in his overall Patreon performance. But what changed at that time? What in Phil's world manifested and caused this steady decline in his Patreon numbers?
In addition to that fact, all right, there's another reason why I'm taking this time off in December. In fact, there's been another reason why I've been taking off these periods of time since, the summer at these set intervals. And the reason is because I've been taking that time to spend some time with my girlfriend. And boom, immediately a bomb has been dropped. Everyone.
That's right. It was the same time that he announced Kat as a new girlfriend. And that's why he was spending so much time away during those summer months, all the way up until Christmas. He said he had to keep it a secret. Also known as, to good Samaritans like you out there, as lying. He took money from his fan base in the form of his back taxes or his missed Patreon goals that he was already set to triple dip on. He was going to get the money from YouTube, he was going to get the money from raw gameplay on Twitch, and then he was getting paid to play it already. But yeah, Kat was announced, a surprise new girlfriend. And from that point on, the Pig Roach kept failing to reach more Patreon pledges. Or he would skip games from marathons and polls and just pass the blame along to mentally ill detractors just like us. He took money from various projects and goals and just moved on, stuffing the money into the my bills vortex where it just disappeared. His Patreons have been sick and tired of terrible goals, if at all any, because as of now, he does not have a goal set up. His tier formats are terrible as well. The dollar tier does not exist any longer. Well, that's because his weekend preview doesn't exist any longer. His self-proclaimed favorite Patreon tier is the $5 tier. Well, that and the $10 tier for shoutouts are pretty much worthless by now. He doesn't do Hate Live. He doesn't do anything else. He just has his pre-streams. Unless if there's a special emergency that he needs to cover. Now, his $20 a month pledge is by far the most interesting. He states in it that he guarantees your questions being answered if you put them on a special area in his tumbleweed forums for Ask the Pig. But normally those questions aren't answered entirely. They're kind of vague. Because we know that Ask the King is coming up here soon. It's not monthly anymore, it's bi-monthly. So that means those people paying that pledge of $20 a month have to get dinged twice. So you're now paying $40 every 2 months for one guaranteed question that won't get truthfully answered. Meanwhile, other people can just throw them a couple bucks during the live stream of that Ask the King and get their questions answered immediately. So there is no incentive anymore for that $20 pledge. And I wonder if he still records the private Q&As for his $50 a month pledges on Patreon. And if they're anything like the ones that Phil accidentally leaked when he had that issue with AdSense and got told to delete a bunch of videos when he should have just privatized them. Well, those videos are still available, I believe, on LSB's channel. So you can go over there and check them all out. But it's just a glorified Ask the Pig. It's a personal echo chamber, if you will. So his Patreons at that level are getting absolutely screwed. As of now, DSP has dropped from those lofty heights in those early years of Patreon, 2015 to 2017, all the way down to now at 99 patrons, and he's receiving $434 a month. That's only one more dollar than Spoonie. There's a big yikes right there. And that seems like a new low. He is leaving his Patreon dead in the water. He is just collecting free money from unmet pledges. And heck, his last post on that website was from fucking a year ago? In February? Are you kidding me? Nobody's going there. Nobody's throwing any more dollars at you. It seems like most of the last 99 people are gonna start leaving soon anyways. And it will lead to DSP not promoting Patreon anymore. He's just gonna let it sit there, and he'll quietly harvest whatever he can from its rotting corpse, just like he does with his YouTube channel that is pretty much just an archive now. With no signs of growth or changes coming as yet to his Patreon, will we see him try to resurrect it one more time during these new behind-the-scenes financial issues? I doubt that. And I really doubt that his spurned pay piggies will be crawling back like they once did. Probably due to all of the lies that Phil said over the past few months, starting with his trip back to Connecticut when he got married. Well, we wrap up this week's episode with a big thank you to all of the agents who have subscribed to the channel so far. We just hit 200 agents now in the DIA. And I'm thankful for every single one of you being here, watching the videos, dropping likes, leaving comments for us to enjoy. The support I feel from you guys is amazing right now. And we are well on our way to 500 agents. To you, those good Samaritans out there who have yet to subscribe and become an agent today, please do so. and join us here at the DIA for more live investigation streams, for live case studies on the Pig Roach, as well as other content like the Gentleman's Club and maybe just some fun gameplay streams. Now, stay safe out there, guys. Watch out for those greedy old pig roaches. And I will see you next time on another episode of the Pig Roach Files. Have a good one.